Okay, let's talk a little Facebook one-on-one. This video is for my Facebook users, individuals that are just getting started on Facebook, those individuals that say they've been on Facebook, but there's certain features within the platform that you're just not clear how it works. Or for people that have been on Facebook for years and you're still thinking, oh my gosh, there's so many pieces to this platform, like I can't even navigate. I'm really confused. Or Sherelle uses these words, this terminology, this jargon, and I don't know what she's talking about. So get yourself a notebook because I'm going to use words that maybe you've not heard of, and you can just jot down, oh, when she says that, this is what she means. And that way, when you go through my programs as one of my students, you'll really understand what I'm talking about. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I am on a laptop computer, so how you see my screen might be different than how you see your screen if you're listening to this video on your cell phone and you're following along, okay? So I am on a laptop or desktop computer, and this is what it would look like when you go to a generic web page and pull up facebook.com, okay? So I've done that. Now listen, if you don't have a Facebook account right now, go ahead and create a Facebook account. Just go to facebook.com, and what they're going to do is send you through a series of questions and prompts in order for you to complete your personal profile. It's going to prompt you to add friends, like your initial friends that you want to be connected with and network with. And then it's going to tell you to update your privacy settings. You're going to get some default privacy settings. Yes, I want you to go through each and every one of those prompts and privacy settings and set up your account the way that you would like your account to be customized. Okay. So then after you finish doing that, Facebook will probably default you to this page. This is your profile page, okay? Now, my profile page may look a little different than yours if you're just getting started and you haven't populated everything, because I've been a user of Facebook for many years. Okay, I was going to date myself. I don't even know how many years, but I've been on here for a long time. So I've been building out all of the different real estate within Facebook. Okay. Now, when you hear me talk about real estate, see, that's jargon number one. When you hear me talk about the real estate of Facebook, there generally is four real estate areas on this platform. One of them is the personal profile, which is what you're looking at right now. There's another area which is called Facebook business pages. There's a third area that's called Facebook groups. And then there's a fourth area, which is Facebook stories. Okay. I'm going to take you very briefly through all of them. And this is just meant to be an overview, just so you can grasp how the platform works. You have to go in there, play in it, have a good time, make connections, and really see the robust system just through your own independent use of the application. Okay. So here we are on my personal profile. My personal profile is simply my cover photo. This is my cover photo, my profile picture, my name, how I want it displayed, my intro section, what I'm about. And then if you scroll down over to the left, it shows you an intro. You can build out this intro section as long as you want it. I've got some, if you hit edit details, it could be actually very long with regard to what you want to display to the world, or it could be very short. It could be shorter than what I have right here. It's really up to you. You can add your hobbies, your featured photos section, and then all photos, and then friends that I'm connected with, so on and so forth. You see, I can even continue with my life events and all that stuff. But as of right now, this is all I'm displaying on my personal profile page. And then over to the right, if you scroll down, this is called your feed, or sometimes you hear people call this your timeline. Actually, not your timeline, excuse me. It's my personal feed. All right. It's not my timeline. It's my personal feed. So my personal feed here shows all the posts that I have put up. Okay. So last night I put this post up. It shows me that. If I scroll down, it shows me posts that I've been tagged in by other people that I'm friends with. And when I say tagged, I'm basically, you'll hear me say it later on in our training in this video, but basically a person is selecting me to have their information posted on my personal profile. That's what it means to be tagged. Okay. So I'm tagged right here by Alex Leanne. I was in a speaking summit here, so she tagged me, and I allowed her to put that on my personal timeline. Again, this is something that I posted. So again, if I wanted to just go through and just look at all the things that I have posted, that would be on my personal timeline. Okay, so this is my personal timeline. Here's the thing, I can come here and just check out what my timeline looks like to other people, but you also can type my name up here on your platform, SherelleSlace.com, and you would be able to see all of the different people. Sherelle Slace, I said SherelleSlace.com. I didn't mean to say that. You'd put Sherelle Slace, you'd put, anybody right up there. And you'd be able to go to their timeline, their personal timeline, and see what they are looking to display to their friends, okay, or globally to the world, right? Just depends on what your privacy settings are, okay? So this is your personal profile. From here is where I can go and edit my profile. I can go over here with these three drop down, these three little dots here. I could look at some archived content. I can look at my activity log. Basically, that's telling me, where I've liked and loved or commented on other people's posts. That'll take me there. My profile, my tagging settings. Remember, I talked about the tagging. I can choose to not have people tag me. I can choose to, if someone were to tag me, whether or not I want it on my profile page. And by the way, sometimes people tag you and you don't want other people to see you in that particular picture. Let's say you had a wild weekend, right? At some party or something. You don't want the world to see you in that condition, right? That would be an example. Or maybe you're tagged with your grandchildren or your children and you don't want the world to see your children, potentially. I mean, whatever the case is, you can choose whether you want the tag to be on your timeline or not. Okay. If you choose that the tag is not on your timeline, then you would get the notification of the picture you were tagged in. You can look at it. You can, make comments in that post, but you don't have to approve to have that photo on your timeline. Okay. But that's totally up to you. Over here, the about section is basically an about page about me that I have populated, my work, places I've lived, yada, yada, my friends list, all that good stuff. Photos that I have put on Facebook, my stories, using that fourth real estate area that I told you about. My stories are right there. Videos that I posted, groups that I'm a part of. Okay. So all of that is in my profile section. Okay. Then you've got the friends list. This is all of the people whose friend requests I've accepted or who I have sent friend requests to and they've accepted. I have 1,500, a little over 1,500 friends there. I clean my friends list very frequently. So sometimes I'm up at 4,000 and if people aren't engaging with me, I'll clean it out and start all over again to make sure I'm connected to my ideal clients and customers. My photo section, I can go here and look at some other areas. Okay, so you can kind of play around in yours, but this is basically your dashboard, if you will. Okay. If ever there's a time that you are confused and you're like, how do I use this tool? You can always go to this drop down right here and you can go to help and support. So if I ever use some words or some terminology, or I tell you to do something specific in our program or in my program that you're a part of, then just go here and search for it. Okay. And you'll probably find an article that'll walk you through exactly what it is I'm talking about. All right. Your settings and privacy are right here. You can do display features, daytime, nighttime, all that good stuff. Okay. So then, up here is your messenger. So this is where you can actually have private conversations with certain individuals. You can have with strangers or with your personal friends that are in your friends list. And then also here the notifications. So, if someone comments on a post that you've made or you're tagged in a post, or if someone likes something that you put out there, you get a notification when there's activity, basically conversations that you're a part of. All right. Up here is, you can kind of plug, select it and go see what this stuff is. But basically, watching live videos here is the marketplace where you can actually sell things or buy things. This is where Facebook groups are, which is the third real estate area I'll take you to. And then, there's a gaming center. Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is take you to, so right now I am on my Facebook profile. I want to take you to Facebook pages. And really, I'm just going to type in my Facebook page name, which is right here. All right, Sherelle C. Slace. What I have noticed is in Facebook with the new update 2020 that it moves a little bit slow. It processes slow. Okay. But if you go over here, you see I don't use my business page much at all. But if you go over here to the Facebook business page, it gives you the same type of real estate that you can play with. Like up here, like there we go. You've got your cover page and, how you describe yourself, and you move through here. You've got the same kind of thing. You have the timeline. This right here is posts that I've put out, and anyone that I follow would be in here as well. Okay, but this is mainly my timeline. Excuse me, it's not people that you follow. This is my timeline. So anything that I have put out on my timeline on my Facebook business page is right here. Okay. If I want to go to my news feed, meaning pages that my business page follows, then I would have a news feed. Now, as you can see, mine's not even set up. It's still telling me that this is a feature that is available for my business page, but I don't even use my business page. Okay. But this is business pages right here. So that would be the second area of real estate that Facebook has. And then over here, let me take you to Facebook groups. Okay. So we go to Facebook groups. So I'm opening that up. It's going to show you all of the activity. This is a news feed again. This is all the activity of groups that I am a part of. And so I can get a whole feed of, any group that I'm a part of, the feed from those groups is in here, okay? All together. It's not just one group's feed, it's all the news feed from all the groups I'm a part of. So if I just wanted to quickly see what was happening in all the groups I'm a part of, I would go here, okay, under groups and look at my feed, okay? Now, let's go into a specific group. Let's say you're a part of Leading Women in Network Marketing. Here it is. Don't you love how that just popped up? All right, Leading Women in Network Marketing. I'm going to open that up. That is, okay, so this is my community, my Facebook community, which is a Facebook group. This is the third real estate area within Facebook. Now here, it's really great to just look at the cover photo to find out what the group is about. You can start a Facebook group, and it is a private community where all of the conversation that happens within that real estate, that Facebook group real estate, nobody else can see those conversations except for the members that are in that community. That's very different than the Facebook profile, because on the Facebook profile, the only thing that you're seeing is what is in your news feed, right? It's information and posts that you've subscribed to based on who you're following and who your friends are, okay? And here, there are privacy settings. I mean, you can have public Facebook groups, there can be private Facebook groups, there's different settings, privacy settings you can have for your groups, but many groups where you're protecting the members, privacy, if you will, such as my group. I have a private group. I'm protecting your privacy so that you can feel like you're in a community where you can actually share what's going on in your life and in your business. I like to keep you safe. And that's why I have this as a private group. So you have to join a Facebook group in order to be a part of it and go through pre-join questions in order to get approved into that group and into that community. Okay. So that's how my Facebook group works. But in here, you've got the news feed, right? The basic news feed. And this news feed is all of the people that are members of the community can come in here and post their original content and interact with any posts that are in here. And so you'll be able to scroll through and see, what's happening in here. Okay. Yeah. Here's the about section. This actually communicates to you what the group is about. Like I said, the discussion area, that's the news feed that I was just referring to. You've got the members area. The members area are all of the people that are members of the community. If you want to know who's in the community with you, you can scroll through here, and all of these are hyperlinks. So you can, hyperlink on different members' profiles, and you see how it kind of pops up and gives you a little snippet on each person. All right, so we scroll back up. Events, this is a tab that lets you know what are the upcoming events that the host of this group is sponsoring. So if you want to know what's going on within the group, you can come here. I don't have any events coming up, so it's blank. Then you've got the media section. So any photos or videos that have been posted within this group, you can just go here and check those out, and it's a complete history. Look at how my hair changes over time. That's so funny. And I say over time, this is a new group, and this is just 6 months old. So I switch looks, it looks like. I didn't even realize I was switching looks that much. Okay, so then you go over to files. So if I ever say, hey guys, go to the files section and grab a resource, this is where you're gonna go and get that resource. And then you'll frequently hear me talk about the unit section. The unit section, which I have not built out yet, because this is a new group, but the unit section is a great place to have individuals come to learn certain training, and it'll take you through in a specific order, right? So like step 1, step 2, step 3. If you want to communicate some training or some steps so that members can follow along through your training, units is a great section, hyperlink to use within groups. But you have to have a certain account in order for this units to show up. So my hosted account, since I'm the host of this group, I chose to have social learning units. And because I chose for this to be a learning place, I got this little units button that popped up, hyperlink that popped up here. Okay. All right. So then, this is new, by the way, this new Facebook. Every time I have someone, chatting in my messenger, messages that I need to get back to, it just kind of stays with me over here on the right. I never use it, but it looks like I should because I kind of like that feature, how this person's saying something to me, happy Sunday. I love that I can just read really quick what everybody is saying to me, or I can just do that and just get rid of them all. Look at that. I've never used this feature. All right. Okay, so that's an area. That's the third area that I mentioned. Then there's this fourth area. I'm trying to think, is there anything in here I wanted to tell you about? I get to see all of these because I'm an administrator. Your platform won't have all of this on the side. Let me go to the home. Okay, so I'm back to the home. I think this is all I want to show you in this area. Yeah, it's nothing fancy. Oh, this is what I do want to show you this over here on the right. You see there's popular topics. Yes, all of the topics where there's been good training on, I categorize the content. So if you wanted to learn a little bit about personal branding, you just hit that button and it'll show you all of the posts that have to do with personal branding. So if you're, want to get stronger in this area, just go there, right? If you want to see some posts about, your target market, learning how to define a target market, I've done training. I've done 11 posts here around that topic. You can go through here and get some training, okay? So every time I do something, valuable, where I feel like you can learn, within a certain category of network marketing or in your business, business tips or anything like that, I am going to categorize the post and I'm going to log it right here so you can find it much, much easier than having to scroll, 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 and never find the thing that you're looking for, okay? All right, now let's go to Facebook Stories. So to get to I always go back here. This is like, that little icon here takes me to everywhere I want to go. So I always hit there. I'm sure there's a quicker way to get to stories, but I just go back to my dashboard. I always start from the beginning, okay? Facebook likes to put these little notifications up here all the time, stuff going on, like when it was time to vote for the president, for the USA election, they had lots of different reminders to go vote, go register to vote up here. So I just click that out. Whatever they're promoting is usually popping in like right here, okay? So if I want to put out some original content, here's another place that I can do this. I don't have to do it from the Facebook profile where I showed you previously. I can actually do it from my news feed. By the way, this is my news feed. So what does this mean? Okay, so remember, I'm actually back on the dashboard, but I'm in my news feed, okay? My news feed is separate from my personal profile, separate from my Facebook business pages, separate from my Facebook groups, right? And separate from my Facebook stories. This is actual my news feed. This is where whomever I subscribe to, whoever I'm following, whatever business page I'm following, whichever group I'm following, friend I'm following, everything they post comes into my news feed. Again, I can have privacy settings set up for that, or different settings. If I don't want to follow someone, if I'm hearing from someone too much, I can change that setting. And it'll change, what I'm actually getting or having to see within my news feed. All right. All right. So now if I want to do a story, I'm just going to go here, right? This is how I normally do it. I'm just going to go here and I'm going to type up, I want to teach about stories, right? About Facebook stories. So if I wanted to do that, I can go ahead and just, wait a minute. How do I get my face? How do I paste the stories? I'm forgetting. I'm totally forgetting. Wait, that's not where I go. Let me come out of there. Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh, I drew a blank up here. Create a story. So if I want to post to a story, I just go here and I can create a photo story or I can create a text story, right? So you just select it and then I can just, start typing what it is that I want to say. I want to teach about Facebook stories. I can change my background. You can do lots of different fun things, right? I'm going to take this off. And basically, when you put a story out there, it'll run for just 24 hours. I'm going to discard that because I'm not trying to create a story. Discard. Okay. But stories allow you to display whatever you have going on, whatever it is you want to communicate for just 24 hours. After 24 hours, that particular story will expire. You can always have stories happening in the background of Facebook. Or in the background of your Facebook profile, if you just keep doing stories, just keep doing a story and story. Each story is collectively, but each story is just going to run for 24 hours, okay? So you can always have a story going in the background of your Facebook profile. All right, so that's that. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share with you. Yes, I want to talk about tagging. Okay, so if I wanted to tag someone in a post, all I have to do is do the ampersand sign and then mention that person's name. So I'm going to go ahead and mention Dat Girl. That's actually my assistant right there, Dat Girl, D Southern Lee. So if I wanted her to be tagged in a post, I just do that. I put a ampersand sign and I would write Dat Girl, Southern Lee. Okay, her name is Derica Lee, but that's her Facebook name. Okay, and what happens is it highlights blue, and then I can just say, hey, hey, I wanted you to see this post. That's it. right? And then I post that. What happens is she gets notified that she was tagged in one of my posts. All right. So you frequently will hear me say, well, just tag, tag the person, or someone has told you to tag a person. You can do that down within, a post that's already out there. Say, for instance, I wanted someone to actually see this post. I'm going to do the ampersand sign, right? And I'm going to say Leslie Carter. I'm choosing Leslie Carter because she's my sister. So I can just do that. Hey, right? And then I just hit enter on my keyboard and she'll be tagged in this post and she'll get a notification to tell her to go take a look at that post. So that's what I mean by tagging. All right. One other thing I wanted to mention that I realized I did not mention is your followers. So I'm gonna leave. You have Facebook friends and Facebook followers. Your friends are here. I showed you that. And your followers and who you're following is down here. Okay. So you can see that right now, as of the date of this recording, I have 777 people that follow me, which does not mean they're my friends. These are people that who probably have either saw some content, liked it, didn't want to be a friend, but just wanted to stay in touch with and get notified when I post. So it's about 700 people, okay? Or I might get a follower if someone sends me a friend request and I'm not interested in being friends with them. I'll decline the friend request, but they still follow my post. So just because you decide that you don't want to be friends with someone, because they requested to be friends with you, they get a subscription. They automatically become a follower, even though you said you don't want to be friends with them. Just want to let you guys know that. Okay. So over here is all the people that are following me. And then I can go here. If I select it, I can see, who I've decided to follow, but not necessarily want to be friends with. Okay. You got that? All right. That is it, guys. I really just wanted to give you a quick overview. This information was really for people that are just starting out on Facebook and just needing to get an overview of, what is Facebook? How do I get started? What do you mean? There's different real estate and there's different areas. You don't have to play in all the areas I just mentioned, right? You don't have to play in Facebook pages, business pages, or Facebook groups, or Facebook profile, or Facebook stories. That could be too much for you, might be overwhelming, particularly if you're brand new. But you should choose a location where you want to spend most of your time and become known for living in that area. Okay, so you'll often hear me say, where do you play on Facebook? Or you might hear me say, where do your ideal customers play on Facebook? Okay, where I play, just so you know, as of today, I play in my Facebook profile and I play in Facebook groups. Those are the two areas that I'm in all the time. I use stories sometimes, and my Facebook business pages are being updated automatically through Instagram, but I'm not currently playing there, although I will very soon. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to be playing in Facebook business pages because I don't run ads to it. So, and that's really the biggest benefit. Oh, and being able to track your insights, your data. It's really great to have a Facebook page for that. But the kind of work that I'm doing right now, it doesn't make sense for me to have it. So that's why, or it hadn't made sense for me to have it. So that's why I don't play there. So I play on my Facebook profile where I do organic traffic build, and then I play in Facebook business pages. Okay. I'd love to know where you play. Let me know below and let me know if you thought this video was helpful.